I'm here tonight to let you know that tragically we lost one of our own.
Could come to our small community.
Hearts are heavy tonight in Alamogordo after one of their own was killed in the line of duty.
This isn't something that we expect to happen to a small town.
They were the best we have. That is how Westerville's police chief describes these two officers who died yesterday in the line of duty.
True American heroes. Two gave their life today, responding to calls of assistance out of a potential domestic situation.
My name is Eric Gilman. I'm 51 years old, married with 3 sons, all in college or employed. I'm retired law enforcement professional with over 25 years experience working in a metropolitan setting. I spent my career as a police officer at the Redford Township Police Department, which is located in Redford Township, Michigan. I retired in 2013 as the chief of police. I was fortunate to experience several different aspects of policing during my career. Some of my past assignments included management, supervision, undercover investigations, SWAT operations, detective division, traffic division, sex crime unit, youth division, and firearms training. In law enforcement, like many service-related professions, you work different shifts and assignments during your career. For instance, you may be assigned to work road patrol from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., but often you're not going home until your assigned calls that you had responded to and the paperwork are completed. Oftentimes you may fill in other shifts, also working midnights or afternoon swing shifts. In some aspects of policing, criminal investigations can last several hours, days, weeks, and months. It's not uncommon to work 12 hours, catch a few hours of sleep, and get back at it if you're investigating an active criminal organization or a person. I knew of all the possible dangers involved in police work when I started, but you truly don't understand the magnitude or severity until you experience it. Situations can escalate and change in split seconds. So a simple common report run can quickly turn into a life-threatening incident. You may think you're going on a noise complaint, but find that the house that you're getting the calls on happened to be an armed local drug dealer or an individual who is wanted for some past criminal activity, and he thinks you're there to take him off to prison. Some of the most dangerous encounters can be a simple traffic stop made on an individual that was speeding or some other traffic violation. Unknown to you, he may have just robbed someone or held up a liquor store and thinks that you're trying to arrest him. Or maybe that person has a large amount of stolen property in their trunk or drugs or illegal contraband. I had several dangerous incidents during my career. Some were predictable and some were not so much. Early in my career, I was involved in a situation where a young burglar suspect armed with an assault rifle fled into a schoolyard filled with elementary-age children. He had attempted to take hostages and fired upon myself and other responding officers. So during all that confusion, I ended up wading through several frightened running kids and engaged the suspect with gunfire. No kids were harmed, and the suspect was fatally wounded. One particular time while I was working undercover early in my career, I was once held at gunpoint during an undercover operation where I was buying cocaine and handguns. Later, the suspect was arrested and charged accordingly. On one or more occasions, I attempted or had to perform CPR on a child or an elderly person. Unfortunately, on those occasions, they could not be saved, or they had expired already. Often when someone is found unresponsive, their family members are convinced that they were just breathing, and they report it on 911 as that my husband or my child or whatever was just breathing. Now they're not, So when we show up as a first responder, you're given the task of determining what action to take, to preserve life, and to also be cognizant of the obvious human feelings of loss and panic of the family. So sometimes it's very obvious that someone has passed, and you're there only really to help the family with the cumbersome task of notifying other family members or making funeral home calls and arrangements. Unfortunately, I have had some friends and fellow officers from neighboring police departments lose their life while performing their duties. Some from traffic accidents, shootings, and some took their own life. I attended many funerals, and it never got any easier. I know, looking back, that I was very fortunate and blessed to make it out of my career as well as I did. There are many positive situations that come from policing. Many people are grateful for your help. Often it's something small like unlocking a car with their child that's locked in it, or helping someone find their lost child or their lost bicycle. I found the vast population regarded law enforcement in a positive light. Despite what the media portrays, most people do not have any or very minimal contact with law enforcement. So generally, you're there to help them or solve a problem for them. There are always going to be people that have no respect for authority or have preconceived notions of you or your job. I think it's gotten much worse in the past decade or so. The assaults and killing of police officers is a reflection of our society and its current lack of respect for life or consequences. During my career, I missed many holiday celebrations and family gatherings due to shift work. I missed several activities my children were involved in, but managed to be present for the majority of them. It was definitely a give and take and an exhausting exercise in planning and time management. But my wife and kids always tried to make it work. I enjoyed my career and found it rewarding in most aspects. In any career, you're going to have highs and lows. What I'd like you to take away from this is the next time you see a police officer, try to think of all the personal lives or the instances or moments in time of the lives of complete strangers that they have had to be part of during their day. Most all negative. Instances. The police are called because if something is wrong and they are given the task of fixing it, documenting it, or taking it away. Police are normal people just like you. They just have the most abnormal job and see all the bad day in and day out that most people never experience once in their life.